Ukraine is bracing for a new wave of attacks from Russia tomorrow on the one-year anniversary of the invasion. And President Biden will meet virtually tomorrow with Volodymyr Zelensky and other G7 leaders. The U.S. is expected to announce $2 billion in financial aid, and this comes as the European Union announces it's cracking down on Russian sanctions evasion. In a show of solidarity, countries around the world are honoring Ukraine. The Eiffel Tower in Paris lit up in yellow and blue. There it is. In the meantime, new video tonight showing the true cost of war. Whole neighborhoods destroyed by Russian bombs. This eastern city had a pre-war population of 80,000. It is now down to 1,000 people who have been unable to evacuate.
Let's bring in Sibel Akhtai. She's a non-resident senior fellow with the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I want to start with just a general question for you. As we mark this 1 year, what are some of the things that have stood out to you that really define this war in this last year?
Sure. So this is the eve of the war's anniversary. And when Putin televised his speech on February 24th of 2021, announcing the specialized military operation in Ukraine, he thought this would probably be a quick and easy win for him. He thought the NATO members at the time for a couple of years up until 2021, in 2022, they were in this tumult between each other and with the United States, especially over defense expenditures and alliance commitments. However, earlier this week, we heard from President Biden in Warsaw, where he said Putin have been dead wrong, and he has been dead wrong. And so some of the things that really struck me over this past year has been how steadfast and unwavering the European allies and the United States have been over their support for Ukraine. Countries like Germany, who have been sort of defense skeptics for most of their modern history, they quickly decided to increase their defense expenditure and defense budget over to 2% of their GDP, which has been NATO expectation all along for years. NATO curious, NATO skeptic countries like Sweden and Finland quickly tabled proposals to join NATO as full members. These are incredible symbolic and political behaviors that show that the invasion has recreated that European and Western solidarity over protecting ideals of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and democracy in the region.
And speaking of that symbolism here, talk to me about the impact of President Biden's visit, not only to the Ukrainians, but to the Russians. Talk about the lasting impact there.
Yes, exactly. So the United States has so far spent $80 billion in foreign aid. And so this includes everything from humanitarian aid packages to about $50 billion in military aid. That includes everything from ammunition, ground-to-air missiles, tanks, drones, surveillance satellite technology. And so the United States and President Biden has shown over the past 12 to 13 months how unflailing and unwavering United States support for Ukraine was. And when he visited Kiev unannounced earlier this week and took a stroll on the streets of Kiev with President Zelensky, that I thought was a beautiful but also very powerful, very personal touch that that he showed, sort of putting a cherry on top of all of this United States support for Ukraine. I think that was a beautiful, powerful, historic moment for the United States.
In the meantime, Russia seems to be strengthening ties with China, and so I'm wondering, what's the level of concern in that relationship?
Right. So China on paper, and when they talk with European allies, such as earlier this week during the Munich Security Conference, and also this week at the UN General Assembly, they always say they want a peaceful resolution in the war. But this is a very loaded statement. On the one hand, China claims that it has not provided Russia with military support, and it's kind of sort of sending a signal to the United States when they say, you know, some countries throw fuel to the fire by sending weapons. That's not the answer. We want a peaceful resolution. On the other hand, Russia and China are the closest they have ever been in the last couple of years. Now they call their relationship a no limits friendship. And China, over the past, again, 12 to 13 months, has thrown multiple lifelines to Russia, such as buying its oil and gas, supplying key materials to Russian manufacturers to continue their industrial sectors, by providing Chinese yuan as a hard currency for Russia to de-dollarize its economy and therefore ease the impact of these very hard historic sanctions that the Western allies have imposed on Russia since the invasion of Ukraine over this past year. And so China is treading a very delicate, very dangerous line, and I don't think that status quo is sustainable over the medium run even, because the United States and Western allies are now considering maybe slapping secondary sanctions on China for cooperating with Russia. If it weren't for China in this past couple of months, Russia could have been bled out already, but China keeps Russia going in the war.
Sibel Aktay with the Chicago Council on Global Affairs on the one-year anniversary of the war in Ukraine. Thank you so much for your perspective.
Thank you for having me.